Hey everybody, it's Allison here with New Little Life. Today we're going to talk about the 5 biggest mistakes that breastfeeding moms make. Now I already have a video that has done super well. You guys have loved it on the 5 biggest mistakes that pumping moms make. So today we're going to talk about you breastfeeding moms that maybe are not pumping. I've said a lot of this information before in other videos, but if this is the first video you're seeing on my channel, I really wanted to share this with you. So the first mistake that breastfeeding moms make is obsessing about the numbers. So you've got the clock, the ounces, the height, the weight, the everything, the app that measures all the stuff. It's a lot. And so if you have got all these numbers in your head and they're driving you crazy, it might be time to take a step back and relax a little bit. So after your baby has made it through those first couple weeks and they're gaining weight well, breastfeeding's going well, you don't really need to watch the clock as much. So feed on demand, even through the night. When they start sleeping a little bit longer through the night, your body will adjust. There's no need to be waking up and pumping unless you have another reason to. Don't obsess about the numbers. Number 2 mistake that breastfeeding moms make is not getting help. And there's a lot of different ways that this could look. If you need help breastfeeding, you have tons of options. You have an IBCLC would be my number 1 choice, someone who's trained in lactation that can help you. You probably have private practice ones and hopefully one at your hospital, maybe one at the WIC office. Find someone trained in lactation to help you. If you don't love or trust what they're saying, find someone else, okay? Your pediatrician, your OB, home health nurse. You have a lot of options for help with breastfeeding. If you need help with postpartum depression, or if you're just not feeling like yourself, if you want some postpartum physical therapy because your body is not like it used to, get some help. That is the number 2 mistake on my list that breastfeeding moms make, is waiting too long to get help or not even asking at all. I know you can make it through this on your own. Moms are strong. They do hard things all the time, but you don't get a gold star for doing this with no help. So take advantage of your village. Ask for help from people that can help you. You won't regret it. Number 3 mistake that breastfeeding moms make, it's a tongue twister, is they go into breastfeeding with no preparation. And I just started a podcast back in January, and a lot of moms have been saying this. I didn't prepare. I took a childbirth class, and I kind of just thought that breastfeeding was going to go fine. And I'd have milk or I didn't, and that's that. There's a little bit more to it than that, and being prepared, which is some of the basics, can help you through so much. If your hospital offers a course, check that out. I have an online breastfeeding basics course available for you. The link's in the description. It'll give you the basics. We go through a lot of the common things: cluster feeding, growth spurts, supply and demand, a good latch, things to watch for, all that kind of stuff. So do a little preparation before you get started. If you're newly breastfeeding and you're struggling, an online course like the one I just mentioned will also help you. Just kind of give you a better understanding of what's happening, what should I be watching for, looking for. Can also be a great refresher if it's been a while since you breastfed before, just to kind of refresh your mind and get things going again. Start you off on the right foot. Number 4 mistake that breastfeeding moms make is they blame everything on breastfeeding. And what I mean by this, I think healthcare providers do this a lot too. But baby's not sleeping, mom's tired, baby's not gaining weight, baby's gassy, baby cries a lot, baby has bad habits, baby's eating a lot, cluster feeding. All of these get blamed on breastfeeding. And a lot of these are just normal newborn stuff. Moms are tired. Babies aren't sleeping through the night. They shouldn't. And cluster feeding is real. Growth spurts happen, And so I will say, if your baby's not gaining weight, especially in the beginning, and you need to supplement or find an alternative way until breastfeeding is really established, that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about blaming all of your hard stuff and everything that's going wrong. Hopefully it's a short list, but on breastfeeding. It's not all related. Some of it's just normal newborn stuff. So take a breath and try and figure out, okay, is there anything that I can do differently aside from altering the breastfeeding thing, if it's going well, that might help our situation. And just take that with a grain of salt. It's not always breastfeeding that is the problem. Number 5 mistake that breastfeeding moms make is going all or nothing. You can be an exclusively breastfeeding mom and baby and still have had to use some formula in the early days. It's not the end of the world. Now, there are problems with introducing formula and supplementation too early if they're not necessary, but if they are or you need to, and that goes against some of the goals that you have, it's okay. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. If you want to wean your baby at night, that doesn't mean you have to give up breastfeeding during the day. If you're going back to work, pump when you can, and it doesn't mean that you have to give up breastfeeding when you're with your baby. There's so many scenarios where moms, I think, feel like they have to do all this way or all the other way, and it's just not the case. Your breastfeeding relationship may very well look like breastfeeding and then supplementing with a bottle, and that might be that way the whole time for whatever reason, okay? That's okay. It doesn't have to be this like perfect little scenario that we all make up in our minds. I encourage you to do your research and to know what's normal, not what's necessary, what's not, and then just trust yourself and go with your gut. Don't be afraid if your story looks a little bit different. While we're talking about that, I have another video on the channel, 5 things that are not low milk supply, and I think you might like that as well, that kind of talk about what is and what's not low milk supply. So I'll put that up top for you. There you go. 5 mistakes breastfeeding moms make. There is lots more advice and videos on my channel. You can also contact me in my private Facebook group if you want help choosing a breast pump or have some issues over there. That would be great. And otherwise, we'll see you on the next video. Bye.